3, 2.
Hi, I'm Heather Whitmer. I'm one of the owners of LeBeau Skincare Center, and I'm here with Hillary Leibowitz Schaefer, who's one of the other owners of LeBeau Skincare Center. And today we are going to answer some questions about CoolSculpting. We get a lot of questions about this, so let's get right into it. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So talk to us a little bit about what is CoolSculpting.
Sure. CoolSculpting is a process that freezes fat. And when you freeze that fat, it actually destroys the fat cell that's in there. And about 20 to 25% of the fat cells that are in that cluster. I often, like when I describe it, I'll say if you have a cross section and you're looking at those fat cells, it looks like a bunch of marbles really tightly put together. When you freeze that section, about 20 to 25% of those marbles are going to get destroyed. And because those fat cells need to be really tightly compressed, it goes from like this to like that. And you lose inches and you get tightening in that area.
Okay. And is it painful?
CoolSculpting is not necessarily painful. It's so cold that, so when you put an applicator on, you draw the area of fat into that applicator, and that is on there for about 35 to 45 minutes. For the first about 5 minutes, you feel a lot of, you feel like cold, a lot of cold. And that cold can feel kind of burny, achy kind of feeling just for those first couple minutes.
Okay.
And then you kind of become numb to it. So it's only for a few minutes that it's uncomfortable. After that, you don't really feel anything.
Okay. So there's a lot of other fat removal or fat treatment procedures out there. What makes CoolSculpting different and unique in how it destroys the fat?
So CoolSculpting's unique because it does freeze that fat and it truly destroys the fat cell that's in there, where some of the other alternatives do not really destroy the fat cell. So it's not going to come back in that area. It can go to somewhere else, but it's not going to come into that area.
Okay. So who's a good candidate for CoolSculpting?
Anybody can have CoolSculpting, but the best candidates or the people that are going to see the most dramatic results from like one treatment are when you have a pinchable amount of fat. So let's just say you're somebody that exercises, you eat really well, and you have an area that's really stubborn. And you might be 10 to 15 pounds overweight, even 20 pounds overweight. It's just like a pocket of fat in there. That's the most ideal candidate. Now, somebody that's larger, that might not be eating as healthy and wants to do this as like a kickstart, you can definitely do it, but you're just going to need more treatments in order to see that big change.
Okay. And what areas of the body can be treated?
Any area that has fat. So from the chin to arms to that bra fat, the bra fat in the back. The flanks, abdomen, thighs, inner and outer thigh, really anywhere that has fat.
Okay. And you said that it destroys the fat cells. So are the results then long-term? Are they permanent?
They are permanent.
Okay.
Now, if you put weight on, it's going to go somewhere else. It's typically not going to go back to that area. You do still have some active fat cells in that area, so you can't guarantee that you won't have any change in that, but typically it doesn't go back into there. It's going to go somewhere else.
Okay. And how many treatments do you typically recommend to see your full results of CoolSculpting?
Well, one of the problems that some patients come in is think, oh, I just need my upper abdomen done. But really, if you only did your upper abdomen, you would notice then the lower abdomen might also need it as well. So a lot of times we try to treat for a transformation where you want to kind of smooth that whole area. So that could be upper, lower abdomen and flank. And on some people, if they have that pocket of fat and they eat well and they exercise, they might go through one treatment day of having several cycles on that area and be done. Other patients that might have a little bit more of fat to destroy, they might need 2 different days of treatment, and usually they're spaced about 6 to 8 weeks apart.
Okay. And because it kills about 25% of the 25% of the fat cells in the area that's treated, if you have multiple treatments done in the same area, do you see less and less of fat in
Yes.
that area? You see more of a result?
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's why
It's always that 20 to 25% of the fat that's in there at the time of treatment.
okay.
So it's not like it's eventually going to take all the fat out.
Sure.
You know, it's taking that percentage every time you have that done.
Okay. Is CoolSculpting safe? Has anyone ever had, any problems, side effects, anything?
CoolSculpting is extremely safe. Because it's just freezing that fat that's in that area, you're not damaging any external tissue or anything like that. It's just targeting the fat.
Okay. And what is the recovery time? Do you have downtime with it? What?
You can really go back and do what you would do the rest of your day. You can be tender in that area afterwards. So, if it bothers you to have pressure put against, like if you had your abdomen done and it kind of feels a little tender in that area, you might not want to do something that's going to put pressure onto it.
Okay.
But really, you can go back to work, you could go to the gym. Nothing that you would do would affect it.
Okay. And when that fat cell, the fat cells are killed or whatever, where does it go?
It's processed out through your body, just like anything that we put in our body that's not really wanted there anymore. We naturally process that out. So it's not like you're gonna physically see that come out. It takes about 3 months, 4 months for it to fully be removed, but it's just slowly coming out over time.
Okay. And when you talk about doing multiple areas to treat the transformation, are you actually, kind of sculpting the body and making, more of an hourglass figure or whatever it is that is
Definitely.
the concern? Okay.
Yeah, so that's what makes it very hard to price when somebody calls us over the phone and says, can you tell me how much CoolSculpting is? We really need you to come in, and that's why we do always the complimentary consults, because we need you to come in so that we can look at your body and how is it best to change your body and transform your body to make it, the best that it possibly can from a treatment like this.
Okay, great. Anything else that you can think of to add to the?
I don't think so. I mean, CoolSculpting is really appealing to patients because there is no downtime.
Right.
It's easy. You're there with your iPad and you can relax and watch or do work from in there. It's comfortable.
And how long does a treatment typically take? When you say you can relax and kind of do other things,
So each cycle takes about 35 to 45 minutes. So most patients, if we're going to do a full treatment to transformation, we're going to be around 6 cycles. So it's 6 times 35 or 6 times 45 that you might be in there. So most patients are in there maybe 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours of just relaxing, and then you're done.
Okay. All right, great. Well, as Hillary mentioned, we do offer free consultations. So if you're interested, please give us a call.